welcome back to Cancer with Joy TV. I'm your host, professional speaker, Joy Huber. Today I've got some good news to share if you are facing cancer and are uninsured. As the Affordable Care Act, or healthcare reform, continues to move towards full implementation, uninsured Americans can now get insurance. Starting in 2014, most health insurance plans can't refuse to cover you or charge you more just because you have a pre-existing condition. At the bottom of page 77 in your Cancer with Joy book, you'll read about how the new law prohibits discriminating against children with pre-existing conditions. In your next video, which arrives in a couple short days if you are receiving a dose of joy a few times a week, I'll show you around Healthcare.gov.
Welcome to whitehouse.gov/health reform. This is one of a few websites I want to take a few minutes to show you some of the great things about. And here we're working in chapter 5 of Cancer with Joy, and this is a resource that I reference on page 77. So this is under the Relief for You section at whitehouse.gov/health reform. I do give a longer link in the book on page 77. What I want to point out to you here is some copy it shares right here discussing coverage for pre-existing conditions. And it says in every state offers an option to people who have been locked out of the insurance market because of a pre-existing condition like cancer. Under the new law, insurers can no longer deny coverage to children under age 19 because of a pre-existing condition. So that's something that I share in the book that I want to show you, the website, want to show you around here. And it also says starting in 2014, health insurers will be prohibited from discriminating against anyone due to pre-existing conditions. In Chapter 5, I also mention PCIP.gov, which is the pre-existing condition insurance plan. And I also talk about that in the resources chapter a little further. There's a paragraph about it on page 129 of the book. It's listed in the government websites section of the cancer resources chapter. So here we are at PCIP.gov. Just want to show you a few things before we move on to one additional website in this video. Here, who's eligible is where I've clicked on to show you it details to qualify for PCIP. You must have a pre-existing condition, be a U.S. citizen or live in the U.S. legally and have been without health coverage for the last 6 months. They also go through documents you need to show eligibility for PCIP. Another thing I want to show you on this page is they walk you through how to apply. So you do have the option to apply online, by mail, or by phone. And they give you the address to mail in your required documents. And I also want to show you PCIP in your particular state. Down here you can pull up this map, and depending on, say you're in California, you can click on California, and up here it says click here to learn more about coverage in California. So that's where you would go. This does take you to Healthcare.gov, so you can learn more about pre-existing condition insurance plan in your specific state, and they give you a phone number to apply for coverage in your state. So those are a few things I want to show you from whitehouse.gov. Then going into PCIP.gov, and you see now this has hopped us into Healthcare.gov. The other resource I want to show you in this video is also in the book in the resources chapter. Page 124, I talk about insureUsToday.org. And I want to show you this website, a few things about insureUsToday.org. Here it says it's a collaborative effort of healthcare stakeholders to add clarity and take the confusion out of healthcare reform. Our goal is to help improve your understanding of the benefits you will experience as a result of the Affordable Care Act. This website features a timeline of implementation, interactive blog, resources, and additional articles. And that's what I'd like to show you is the resources tab, you can simply click depending on what category you fall into. Say I'm a senior or I'm a caregiver for a senior. Right here you can come to Health Reform for Seniors Explained. There's a fact sheet you can click on, and there's a lot of really great information here about health insurance exchanges, dispelling the myths of healthcare reform. That's something I can click on and go into. Oops, it says that page is not found, but several things here I can click on and see what it takes me into. And then I also want to point out the timeline feature here. So you just click on the year. If we're in 2013, it shows you what all happens this year and in 2014 and in 2018.